You keep saying you're waiting for clarity, for a sign, for something to shift, but it's not coming. Not because the world's against you, but because you still haven't moved. You're standing in the middle of a battlefield holding a map that was never real. A map built on fear, routes you thought would keep you safe, steps that made sense only if nothing ever went wrong. But everything went wrong. And now you're standing still, waiting for a plan that doesn't exist anymore. You don't need more information. You don't need another journal entry, another podcast, another week of figuring it out. You already know. You've always known. The problem isn't knowledge, it's cowardice. And that's a word you've avoided because it stings, but it's the truth. You're not confused. You're scared. Scared to move without a guarantee. Scared to leap without applause. Scared to build while people are watching, waiting to see if you fall. So here's the moment. No music, no ceremony. Just you, standing there, staring at that map, like it's gonna grow legs and walk you to your future. It won't. That map was written in ink, made of excuses. Every line of it carved by comfort. Every step planned by the old version of you who didn't know what you were capable of. He thought the way forward was found, but it's not. It's made. Every day, every hour, with or without permission. You whisper, maybe tomorrow, and something inside you dies a little more, because tomorrow has become your addiction. You've turned someday into your God, and now it owns you. But not today, not this hour, not this moment, because you finally feel it, that ache behind your ribs, that fire in your throat, that pressure that says move, or you rot. You want it to feel right first. You want the map to tell you it's time, but it won't. That's not how legends are built. That's not how Ford did it. That's not how Edison did it. They didn't wait for the green light. They moved like it was already green. Edison failed 10,000 times before the world saw the light. Why? Because he didn't wait to be proven right. He just lit the fire and walked through it. You hear it now, that voice inside you. Not the one that doubts, the one that dares. Light it up or stay lost. That's what it says. That's what it's always said. You've just drowned it out with noise, distraction, fake plans, backup exits. You've buried that voice under lists and logic and low standards, but it's louder now. And it's not asking, it's demanding. So you burn it, all of it. The map, the backup plan, the script that told you to stay small until life gave you permission to be big. You don't need to be certain. You need to be savage. You don't need every step figured out. You need to take the damn step and let the ground show up beneath you. Because it always does. For the ones who move, you whisper, but what if I fall? And the voice snaps back, then fall forward. Because at least you moved. At least you had the guts to swing when everyone else was still stretching. The ones who make history don't follow directions. They build routes no one else could see until the dust settled. You don't get to see the whole bridge. You get one plank, one move. And if you don't take it now, you'll be standing in the same place 10 years from now, older, bitter, and blaming the map. You don't need another round of fake progress. Another week of pretending to be ready. Readiness is a lie. No one's ready. They just move anyway. And once they do, everything else rises to meet them. You want to become dangerous? Then move while you're uncertain. Speak while your voice shakes. Burn the damn map and let fire light your steps. This is the line. The moment where the old you clutches the edges of comfort, begging for one more chance to plan. But you don't give him one. You rip the plan from his hands. You crush it. You set it on fire. And when he screams, "But what will we do without direction?" you answer without flinching. We move. You don't ask for permission anymore. You don't need the map. You are the route now. And every step forward, no matter how ugly, is a step away from the version of you who chose safety over strength. That version doesn't get a vote anymore. He had his chance. He kept you stuck. He kept you small. And now he's ashes. So when the pressure builds again, when the silence returns, when the old habits try to sneak back in, you don't look back. You whisper the words that started it all. Light it up or stay lost. And you step forward, straight into the fire, because you're not done yet. You've been dangling, pretending that the rope still has something to hold on to, that it's going to save you. You've been swaying back and forth, too afraid to fall, too afraid to climb. But what you haven't realized is that the rope is a lie. The rope is what kept you stuck. The rope is what told you, just a little longer, wait a little more. The timing will be better soon. But that's not how warriors win. That's how they die slowly. You've already made the decision. Somewhere deep down, you knew the rope was never going to pull you up. It was never going to be enough. You needed something stronger. You needed fire. You needed something inside you that couldn't be turned off by doubt. And now, with everything stripped away, there's nowhere to hide. No more pretending you're just waiting. No more pretending that the next plan will make everything better. The only thing you've been waiting for is yourself, your real self, the one who doesn't hesitate, the one who doesn't stop at the first sign of pain. You stand there now, angry, furious, because you're finally awake. You finally see it. The rope was your comfort, your safety net, and it kept you from jumping, from running, from fighting, but not anymore. No more excuses, no more waiting. It's fire now. You burn the rope or die hanging on. You've been asking for permission, haven't you? Please just tell me I'm ready. You've been waiting for someone to say, you're good enough. You can make it. But here's the truth. No one is coming. No one is going to hand you the key. You already have it. You've always had it. But it's time to cut the rope, drop the excuses, and trust yourself. You're not confused. You're just scared. And that's okay. Fear is real. But you know what? So is courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward anyway. The greatest men who ever lived, Ford, Edison, Lincoln, didn't wait for certainty. They didn't wait for a sign. They moved, even when everything was telling them to turn back. Edison didn't know if his light bulb would work. He failed thousands of times, but he kept going, because failure wasn't the end for him. Failure was just part of the plan. The only plan he had was to never stop, and now you have to do the same. You've been holding on to this illusion that there's a perfect time, a perfect moment to act. You've been lying to yourself. There's no perfect moment. There's only now, and now you have to decide. Cut the rope or die trying. You can't wait any longer. You don't get to stand on the edge looking down, wondering if it's safe. You leap, and the world meets you halfway. You say, but what if I fail? And I say, what if you don't? What if you never even give yourself a shot? What if you die with your potential still buried in you? That's the real failure, not the fall. The fall, that's where the lesson is. That's where the growth happens. You can't grow while you're holding on to things that don't serve you anymore. You're not living, you're surviving. And surviving doesn't change the world. You were born to change it, to move, to act, to make it bend to your will. So cut the rope, rip it, leave it behind. Stop pretending you have options. The only option is forward, and it's time to move like you've already won. Not like you hope to win, not like you wish to win, but like it's already done, like the fight's over, like the battle was won the moment you decided to take the first step. You can feel it now, can't you? That fire, that rage. It's been burning in you the whole time, waiting for you to stop hiding, to stop making excuses, to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. Well, here's your permission. Here's your shot. You've got one decision to make. Cut the rope or die trying. There's no more waiting. There's no more maybe next time. It's now. And guess what? You don't need a map. You don't need a plan. You need movement. That's all you've ever needed. You need to move. And the world will adjust. The doors will open. The path will appear. But it won't happen if you're still hanging on to the rope, looking for comfort. It only happens when you let go, when you step into the fire, when you say, I've already decided. I will not fail. Not this time. Not ever again. You said you would. Now show up and prove it. You don't get a pass on this. You don't get to say, maybe tomorrow. The old you is dead. The new you is here. And that person doesn't hesitate. That person doesn't look back. That person cuts the rope. But you're not done yet. You've learned the hard way that emotions are unreliable. They come and go, like the weather. One minute you feel on fire, like you could take on the world. The next you're frozen, paralyzed by fear or worn out by doubt. You can't build on that. You can't trust it. You've been led by feelings for too long, and look where that's gotten you. Stuck, scared, hesitant. It's time to stop being a slave to your moods. It's time to build something that doesn't care about how you feel today. You don't need another pep talk. You don't need motivation. What you need is a system that's cold, relentless, predictable. Because systems don't wait for you to feel ready. They don't ask if you're in the mood. They just work. Day in, day out. The greatest minds, Ford, Edison, Lincoln, they didn't move on motivation. They moved on structure. They didn't look for inspiration to strike. They built a rhythm that didn't need to be perfect. It just needed to be executed, consistently. You say, but I don't feel like it today. And the system answers, you don't have to. Feelings don't matter. The system doesn't ask for your opinion. It doesn't care if you're tired, upset, or scared. It just runs. It's a machine that grinds no matter what, and it forces you to keep up. When you fall behind, it doesn't pause. It doesn't wait for you to catch up. It keeps moving. Because winners don't need to feel like winners. They just act like it. You've spent too much time waiting for the stars to align. They never will. You've spent too much time negotiating with weakness. You've asked, is today the day? No more. Today is just another day in the machine. Another day to do what you said you would. No breaks, no excuses, no explanations, just action. It's time to be the system, to build the momentum with cold hands and clear orders. You think you're waiting for the perfect moment? Stop. The system doesn't wait. It moves now, it moves tomorrow, and it moves the next day. And it forces you to move too. You've been dancing around the goal for too long. It's time to stop. Time to stop asking for permission. Time to stop wondering if it's worth it, because it's already worth it. You've already decided. The system has spoken. There is no alternative. There is no backup plan. There is only execution. You can't keep asking, what if I fail? That's a weakness you've been holding on to like a crutch. Every time you doubt, the system doesn't stop. It doesn't care. It moves forward, even if you don't. So you either move with it, or you get left behind. And if you're left behind, that's where failure lives. But failure doesn't matter to the system. It doesn't need validation or applause. It just keeps going. It knows that the results come with time, and that time will keep ticking, whether you're moving or not. You don't have to feel strong to be strong. You don't have to feel ready to be ready. You just have to execute. You build strength in the repetition, in the hours no one sees, in the moments when you want to quit, but refuse. You won't feel like a winner all the time, and that's okay. You won't always feel like you've got it figured out, but if you keep moving, the system will work for you. It's not about motivation anymore. It's about discipline. It's about turning every thought into action, turning every fear into fuel. Your emotions can't lead you. They'll burn out too quickly. But the system can't fail. It's built to succeed, even when you don't feel like it. And right now you need to stop listening to the part of you that asks, what if it doesn't work? That voice is your enemy. That voice keeps you stuck in analysis, in hesitation. It tells you to wait until the conditions are perfect. But perfect doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is now. You're not done yet. You've just started. The war's not over. Your old self wants to hold you back, to pull you into the comfort zone where you don't have to face the fire. But you've already burned that bridge. You've already made the decision. Now the system moves, and you move with it. You take control of your own rhythm, your own pace, your own life. You don't let the waves of emotion dictate your direction anymore. You are the current. You are the force. And it's time to get to work. Because you know what? You're not done yet. There's no applause. No one's watching. No one's even noticing. You keep going, but the world stays silent. You expected fireworks. You thought the grind would be rewarded instantly. But all you hear is the deafening sound of silence. The pressure builds. The frustration rises. You're doing everything right, showing up every day, pushing through, but it feels like nothing's changing, nothing's moving, nothing's happening, and that's when it hits you. Progress doesn't scream, it doesn't shout or cheer. Progress simmers, slowly, quietly, like a fire you can't see, but you can feel. Every day you show up, every small decision you make, you're stoking that fire. It's not immediate, it's not flashy, but it's real. You're building something that will last, and no one can see it yet, but you can feel it. You know it's there, and that's enough. You've been asking for signs. You've been waiting for confirmation. You've been waiting for the world to catch up to your effort, but that's not how this works. You won't get applause. You won't get the recognition you think you deserve right away. That's not the game. The game is building when no one's watching, moving when no one's cheering, pushing forward even when everything feels still. You say, this isn't working, why can't I see it? And the fire inside you whispers back, because you're not meant to see it yet. You're meant to keep going. The grind isn't about the result, it's about who you become in the process. Every time you feel like stopping, that's when you need to push harder. Every time doubt creeps in, that's when you need to remind yourself, this is the fire, this is where I build. Remember Edison. Remember Ford. Do you think they saw results every day? Do you think they got cheers after every failure, every setback, every trial? No, they kept going. They kept doing it when no one cared. They built their empires in silence, in the hours when no one was watching, when no one believed. But they knew. They knew what they were building, and that was enough. You want to stop. You want to quit because no one sees it, because the world doesn't recognize your work. But here's the truth. The world doesn't have to see it. It's not their job to recognize you. It's your job to build, to show up, to keep going, to work when no one else believes in you. That's when the real change happens. When you're doing it for you. When you're doing it because you know it's worth it. Even when no one else does. You don't need external validation. You don't need confirmation from anyone else. You need results, but results don't come instantly. They come through the quiet moments, the work that no one sees, the sacrifices you make in silence. It's not glamorous, it's not pretty, it's not filled with applause, but it's the only way to build something real, something that lasts. Every day you endure this, every day you show up when no one notices, you're proving something. You're proving to yourself that you can handle the grind, that you can take the pressure, that you can endure the silence. And when the results finally do come, they'll be built on a foundation of work that no one saw. That's where the real power is. You say, but I'm tired. I'm done waiting. And the fire inside you says, good. Then keep going, because the fight isn't over. The war isn't won yet. You're still in the middle of it. And every time you think about quitting, you're just one step away from the breakthrough. You're one step away from the transformation. But you'll only get there if you keep moving when no one's cheering you on. If you can push through the silence. If you can embrace the fire that burns quietly, but steadily. And when the world sees what you've built, when the applause finally comes, it will be too late for anyone to doubt you, because you didn't need them. You didn't need their approval, their applause, or their recognition. You built it in silence. You built it because you knew deep down that you were never meant to be ordinary. You're not done yet. You've just begun. You've always had a backup plan. Just in case. You told yourself it was smart, responsible. You were just being cautious. But now you see it for what it really is. A way out, a safety net, a door that leads you back to the old you. The one who isn't ready to burn everything down and walk into the fire. The one who wasn't sure if he could make it on his own. The one who thought he needed another chance, but that version of you, he's dead now. No more exits, no more maybe later. You thought you were being careful, but you were really preparing for failure, preparing for defeat. You were telling yourself that if things didn't work out, you could always go back. You could always retreat to the comfort of your old self. But that's the lie. You never needed a way back. What you needed was to burn the bridge, to destroy the backup plan. You need to leave the old you no escape. You need to take away every option that would let you quit. Because here's the truth. When you have a way out, you're always looking for one. So now, you set fire to it. Every excuse, every back door, every way you thought you could run. When it got hard, burn it all down. You don't need it anymore. You've been holding on to this fantasy that there's still a place for you to hide, a place where you can quit and still come out with your dignity intact. But that place doesn't exist. You don't get to turn back. You don't get to walk away this time. You're either in or you're out. And right now you're all in. You say, but what if I fail? And the fire inside you answers, there is no failure. There is no turning back. There's no second chance, no backup plan. You're going forward, or you're not going at all. And the difference between those who win and those who lose is this: winners don't quit, not when it gets hard, not when the pressure builds. They don't look for an excuse to stop. They find a reason to keep going. You've been lying to yourself. You've been telling yourself that the backup plan was for protection, but the only thing it's protecting is your fear, your weakness, your inability to commit, and you're done with that. No more halfway. No more "I'll try and see what happens." You're not trying anymore. You're doing. You're making it happen. You're burning the lifeline that's been holding you back. This isn't about the world believing in you. This is about you believing in yourself. And that means no more doubt, no more second guessing, no more giving yourself an easy out. When the road gets tough, the road is tough. It's supposed to be. You're not here to take the easy way out. You're here to create something that lasts. And you can't create anything great while you're still holding on to your old self. Edison didn't have a backup plan. Ford didn't have a backup plan. Lincoln didn't have a backup plan. They didn't look for an escape route when things got hard. They kept moving forward, even when it looked like the world was against them. And that's what you have to do now. You have to make the decision to leave no way back. The old you, he's gone. There's no room for doubt, no room for retreat. Only forward. So burn it all. Burn the excuses. Burn the exit door. Burn the plan B that kept you comfortable. Because comfort is a lie. It's an illusion. And if you stay in that lie, you'll never become who you're meant to be. You can't grow while holding on to what's safe. You can't rise while keeping a foot in the past. The only way forward is to burn it all down and leave nothing behind. You whisper, "I can't go back." And with that, you realize you never will. Because you're not that person anymore. That version of you who hesitated, who kept a way out, is dead. And the person you're becoming, they don't need an exit. They don't need a plan B. They don't need anyone's permission. They move forward, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. They burn the bridge and never look back. And now, you're not done yet. You're just getting started. The pressure's on now. The world doesn't give you a pat on the back. It doesn't cheer you on. It challenges you. It throws everything at you. Doubts, distractions, resistance, the voices, the old voices. Those that told you to play it safe, that you weren't enough, that you'd fail. They're screaming now. They want to drag you back to the comfortable lie you used to live. But you don't flinch. You don't flinch because you've already decided. That version of you is gone. There's no going back. And these voices, they're just noise. You stand tall, even as the storm rages around you. You used to think you needed proof to keep going. You used to think you needed signs. You thought you needed someone to tell you, it's going to work. But now, you move like you already know it's done. You don't wait for validation. You don't need it. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to execute. The results don't matter right now. The only thing that matters is the work, the grind. The faith in yourself that never wavers, even when no one else believes. You don't need proof. You are the proof. You hear the doubts creeping in, like they always do. Are you sure this is the right path? The same old questions, but this time you answer with one truth. It's already done. That's the difference now. You don't ask questions. You make decisions. You move with authority because you've already decided. Edison didn't wait for the world to believe in the light bulb. He knew it was going to work. He acted like it was done long before anyone saw it. He was building the future, while others were still trying to figure out the present. And you're doing the same. The world will push back. It will challenge you. It will tell you to slow down, to question yourself. But that's when you move faster. That's when you dig in your heels and push harder. When everyone tells you to stop, that's when you get louder, sharper, more focused. You don't need proof. You need results, and you won't get them sitting still. You won't get them second guessing. You move like the victory's already yours, because in your mind it is, and that's all that matters. Every time you face resistance, you get stronger. Every time you push through the pressure, you become unbreakable. You realize something. This is where champions are made. Not in the calm, not in the comfort, not in the easy victories. They're made when everything is on the line, when the voices are loudest, when the doubt is strongest. That's when you prove who you are. That's when you show the world that you were built for this. This isn't about waiting for a breakthrough. This is about creating one. You don't need to see the result to believe in it. You don't need to feel ready. You've already stepped into your power. Every choice you make from here on out is a reflection of that decision. A decision that was made long before the world started challenging you. You've built this identity through every choice, every step, every sacrifice. And now you don't need to prove it to anyone. You just live it. There's no more waiting, no more hoping, no more checking to see if the pieces are falling into place. The pieces are already falling into place because you made the decision. And that decision is the foundation of everything you do. You are not the person who hesitates. You are not the person who looks for a way out. You are the person who moves, even when the pressure is on, even when the world tells you it's too hard. You are built for this, built for pressure, unmoved by proof. Because the only proof you need is the work you've already put in. And that work, it doesn't lie. The storm is real, the resistance is real, but so is the fire inside you. It burns brighter now, hotter, stronger, and it's the only thing that matters. You are not here to play small. You are not here to hide. You are here to win. And no one, no voice, no obstacle, no challenge can take that away from you. So keep going. Move faster. Move sharper. Move with more power. Because you're not done yet. You're just getting started. The speeches are over. The declarations have been made. You've said it all. You've shouted your intentions into the void. But now you don't speak unless it's necessary. You don't explain. You don't ask for permission. You are the proof. Your actions, your execution, are the only story worth telling. Silence is no longer the absence of noise. It's the presence of power, and that silence speaks louder than any words ever could. The world used to ask you, what are you going to do next? And you used to explain. You used to lay out your plans, give your reasons, promise your intentions, but not anymore. The time for explanations is gone. You don't need to explain what you're doing, why you're doing it, or how you're going to get it done. You show them. Every action, every move, every step forward is your answer. The world no longer gets to question you. It only watches as you execute. Edison didn't talk about his inventions. He built them. Ford didn't promise change. He created it. Lincoln didn't give speeches to convince the nation he was strong. He acted. When they acted, the world changed. You've reached that point. Your words no longer matter. Your actions are the proof. And when the world sees what you've built, they won't need any explanation. They'll know. They'll feel it. You don't need to explain your choices anymore. You don't need to justify your boundaries. If they don't understand, it doesn't matter. If they question your journey, they're irrelevant. You don't negotiate with doubt anymore. The silence you carry, that's the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are and what they're capable of. You no longer need external validation. You've already validated yourself. Move. You tell yourself. No more talking. Just execute. This isn't about waiting for permission. This isn't about seeking approval. This is about doing. This is about living the plan, not explaining it. The plan was made in silence, and now the execution will be too. The less you speak, the more they see. The less you explain, the more you achieve. The world can ask all the questions it wants, but the answer is in the work you're doing, and that work will never need an explanation. You've burned every backup plan. You've cut all exits. There's no room for retreat. And now the work begins. It's time to stop negotiating with fear, with doubt, with weakness. The only question now is how bad do you want it? Because there's no turning back. The man you are becoming doesn't need to talk about it. He does it. He executes. He shows the world what he's made of. And the world listens because it has no choice. You stop overthinking. Stop hesitating. You already made the decision. You already chose the path. Now it's about walking that path, no matter what. And every step you take moves you closer to the truth. You don't need anyone else's confirmation. You don't need the world to understand. The world will follow. They'll watch you walk, and they'll be forced to keep up. You don't lead by talking. You lead by doing. You are not a man of promises anymore. You are a man of results. Your silence is your sword, and you use it to cut through doubt, to carve out a path that only the brave can follow. You lead by example, and that example speaks volumes. It doesn't need words. It doesn't need explanations. It just needs to be. The final order has been given. There's no going back now. The work is yours to do, and every step forward is a reminder to the world. I don't need to explain. I am the proof. You move like the world is already bending to your will, because in your mind it is. You don't ask for validation, and you don't wait for permission. You just execute, and in that execution you build your empire. And when someone asks how you did it, you won't need to speak. Your actions will tell them everything they need to know. They will see the quiet confidence in your eyes, the unshakable conviction in your movement, and they will understand that your silence is the loudest thing in the room. You're not done yet. You're just getting started.